Welcome to Google Ads Unleashed, the podcast that helps you harness the power of Google Ads. And now your host, Jeremy Young.
Hello and welcome back to Google Ads Unleashed, guys. Hope everyone is doing well. And this week I'm coming out with a practical tip again, because we've done a lot of interviews and I just want to help you get the most bang for your buck with all of your campaigns. And one which is a tip that we've rolled out across a lot of accounts recently is one which you are going to love, and potentially you are going to save a ton of money. So this is a tip that we've rolled out with one of our clients, for instance, at the end of July, and now it's almost the end of August and we already saved him about €7,000, close to that, in ad spend. And the trick that I'm talking about is choosing the right bidding strategy for your brand campaigns. Now, I've got a full-on episode about brand campaigns, why they're important, why they should be done, etc., etc. But generally speaking, a lot of people choose the wrong bidding strategy for their brand campaigns. Why is that? So, first of all, I think it's because Google's default bidding strategy settings very often favor max conversion value or max conversions. And I'm going to say an unpopular opinion now here at first. There is nothing wrong with that at the beginning, right? You are absolutely okay to actually choose those, because especially when you set up an account new, it is a good way really to just get some traction going, right? Also, it's one you don't really have to think about, right? So set max conversions, and that's what you want on your brand traffic. You want to maximize the number of conversions for that campaign type. So generally speaking, that's fine. However, what happens is that Google does the following. Over time, you will see that even maybe if there's no one else in the auction, right? So there's not even Amazon in the auction, there's no competitor bidding on your ad, on your brand name, you will see that there will be still higher than normal CPCs. So in theory, you're only meant to pay, if everything else is equal, let's say landing page experience, quality score, all this sort of stuff, you are meant to only pay exactly 1 pence or cent or whatever more than your competitor if you are bidding on the same keyword or even your brand keyword, right? So in theory, if absolutely no one else is there in the auction and you're the only one bidding on your brand, then you should be paying 1 pence a click. That doesn't happen though. Very oftentimes you'll see that you might be even paying dozens of pence or even several pounds per click. Now, this can happen if your brand name contains, for instance, a very generic word. One of our clients sells travel pillows, for instance, and his brand name literally contains the word travel pillow. So by default, even when someone searches for his brand, they will trigger generic searches from other advertisers as well, which is why his branded campaigns are quite aggressive, right? So his branded spend is quite high, because he always competes with other people who might even unintentionally bid in on his brand search, right? So as a result, CPCs are quite high. That's where it's fine to have certain bidding strategies which are, let's put it like this, a little bit more aggressive in order to win auctions. On the other hand, if you see that only Amazon or maybe you yourself are in the auction, Google will artificially inflate your CPCs when given the chance. Why does Google do that? First of all, they're dicks, right? So they try to satisfy their shareholders and maximize the money that they can get from you as an advertiser. And they've long realized that branded search is a huge pool of where money could be made, which is why, for instance, also, if you ever notice this, there might be advertisers bidding on your brand, and they might not even do it on purpose because it's PMax, right? PMax edges onto those types of auctions and generally can show ads on branded search without even meaning to. That's why you've got brand exclusions also on PMax to avoid exactly that. But what Google has done is to artificially the CPCs to increase the size of your ad as well, because the size of your ad, so the real estate that you take up on the SERP, on the search engine ranking page, is directly correlated with how much you're willing to bid. Okay, so you might be paying through the nose then for branded clicks, which is just not necessary. So what is the remedy here? The remedy is a different bid strategy. So generally speaking, something that we've done with more or less all of our clients, and which has become one of our default tests, is to test whether we can save some money on brand traffic by A/B testing with a different bidding strategy. So there's a couple of favorites that we pick from. It depends sometimes a little bit on the goals, but generally speaking, one of the favorites that we have is manual CPC, which is a safe bet at any given point. Let's say, for instance, you pay £1 per branded click, much too much. Yeah. So what you might want to do is set up an experiment, an A/B test, which you can do in the Google Ads interface, and then test your max conversions or your ROAS target or your CPA target strategy versus a manual CPC. Oftentimes you'll see if you set it at a third, at half, at maybe a quarter of the clicks CPCs that you bid in as your max bid, you will see not only barely any conversion loss, right, versus the automated version, but also your CPCs will drop drastically and you'll get more or less the same number of conversions, like I just said, at a much, much cheaper CPA. We also test some other two strategies. Sometimes as max clicks with a bid cap, which basically does the same. And we also do this sometimes with target impression share, right? So we might choose target impression share as a bid strategy, set it at 95+% or close to 100 with a bid cap, and then we just let it rip. Especially we want brand search then to be at the absolute top. Works a treat, works really well. Like I said, with one client we've saved thousands of pounds. With another client we've you'd think that there's not much to save, but for instance, this one partner of ours had a CPC of 17 cents only, and we got it down to 5 cents, right? So even there, we over a year, that's hundreds if not thousands of euros, right, which we saved with that. Give it a try. Different brand, different basically bidding strategy for your brand campaign, and you will be very surprised about the results. Not only how much you save, but also potentially that it might even work better. That's some cases that we've had as well. If this has been a helpful tip for your brand, for your e-commerce brand, then please always reach out and continue listening and subscribing to the podcast for more expert advice and tips. You can always email me as well at jeremy@younganddigital.marketing, or you can find me on LinkedIn with Jeremy and Google Ads. And you can also head to the website younganddigital.marketing to book a free consultation with me through my Calendly. Whether it's PPC management you need help with, maybe you need one-on-one coaching, that's something that we've recently launched. We are here to support your PPC growth and to make you the most money on Google Ads. This has been Jeremy Young, as always, every week, and I wish you a happy and successful week ahead, and I hear you in the next episode. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Google Ads Unleashed. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. If you found value in today's podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and a review. For more information or to connect with Jeremy, check him out online at www.younganddigital.marketing. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.